Test, test. Can you guys hear me? Looks like we're good to go. Sorry, I had to restart the stream. We had some weird setting issues. I was trying to do some high-end capture records the other day. And, cool. I cranked all the settings up to see if I could better capture some candles. And, about 2 minutes into it, I realized my computer was like at 90% CPU max capacity and drop frames everywhere, so had to restart and reset it, but everything looks like it's good. So give me a few minutes. I'm trying to look for some stuff and get the default stuff out of the way. This stream is intended to be used for educational purposes only. It's intended not to be used as financial advice. If you guys are doing well, it's Sunday, chill day. I'm a bit tired. We stayed up late last night and watched the Anaheim 1 Supercross race, which was amazing in the 450 class. If you guys saw that, it was unreal. I was rooting for my boy Ken Rawson on the Kickstart Suzuki. He only ended up coming in 5th, but at one point he was 2nd, so it was pretty awesome. It was cool to see. But Eli Tomac took it for the win. So he took first and crashed, went back like 5 spots or so, then raced all the way back to the beginning. Or to the front. It was nuts. But hold on, I'm looking for an economic calendar. I'm trying to find the one Doppel always uses, but I can't find the link. But how are you guys doing? Oh, let me post. We are... Tweets out, we're live. I'm still looking for that economic calendar. If anybody's got that, let me know. Yeah, it was nuts, and it was a crazy small track. Really small, tight track. It was not boring to say the least. I will just roll with this one. That's fine. So anyway, we take a look at the charts. It's been a little bit adventurous, to say the least. And let me throw the watermark. I hate this new little tag here. Drives me nuts, and I don't know how to turn it off. If anybody knows how to turn that off, please let me know. It doesn't show up when you screenshot, but all other times it does. It's really frustrating, but anyway. Channel workflows, cloud run bottom indicator. Turn on split volume. Some others. Channel walker. What is that? Sorry, I'm naked without a volume on. I want to see that. So anyway, the big one I've been watching is Ethereum. Ethereum has been pumping a lot more than Bitcoin right now. And it's pulling back up, and it looks like I've deleted everything off this chart. So let's redraw it real quick. We've got like a support band up here. Not a support band, a reversion area. And we have one down here. Make that one's green, and we'll make that one red. So yeah, we go back to 4 hour. So Ethereum did a double tap here, right? This was the FTX capitulation. Thank you, SBF. That was the retest. She came back, chopped, did some swing highs, and was rejected up here in this block area. We came back down, and we've only managed to tap against this, and we got a bottom print on the runner bot. And then it's just kind of been sitting sideways inside this visible range chunk here, right? And she's slowly working up. but real slow, and she triggered a TP signal. So we'll see. I'd imagine she's gonna move up into here and at least test this. But what she does from that, I don't know. I'd imagine it bounces off of it, but will it come down here? I really got to see what the markets do. We're still in the middle, or what, the second week of January, so we've got a lot of like uncertainty right now. Like all these contracts are opening up, all this stuff's taking footing. The Fed's hasn't had a meeting this year yet, right? Or they did, but like the actual FOMC we want to see is until 30th, I think, 31st, 30th, something like that. So anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on, but if you take a peek at the volume, we have some buyers showing up, right? And you can see they tried to sell into this, or they did actually sell into this. Oh, that's really cool. I just realized that's actually lined up here. So this is the cool thing about split volume tool. You see both sides of the story. So even though these candles were pumping really, really hard, let me draw a vertical line so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Where's vertical? So that is the... I want to make this like a dash line so it doesn't kill everything. Yeah. So that is spooky looking how it moves. But anyway, you can see way up high, someone took a lot of profit on Coinbase. They took two big things of profit, but it didn't move. It didn't come down and nuke, and then it moved its way back up. And now we're kind of sitting on another leg of it where we're potentially going up. We got resistance overhead. So we got to see if she continues up and over. And I kind of want to see what it's looking like on Binance, if they're doing the same thing. So Binance is selling into buying into so Binance is pumping it. You can see that that's lining up. So the Binance hits are hitting at the exact same time when it moves. So Binance is more in control of when this thing's moving, and then Coinbase is selling off on these plateaus. I want to see the perpetuals. So this is the leverage contracts of Ethereum. Let's take a look. Yeah, so it looks like Asia is bullish. Asia is pumping it while Americans are taking profit on the plateaus. So if you look at Coinbase, like we were showing earlier, oops, they're selling into it. So we'll see. We'll see. It's looking interesting. I'm curious why I just lost what I was drawing on. I may be looking at the USDT charts on Coinbase, which is not good. Yeah, but they're taking massive profit there. Was it at USDT Coinbase? What freaking chart was I just on? Either way, same story applies. Yeah. Take a look at Bitcoin though. Bitcoin's a little bit different story. I want to get on Binance. I want to stick to Binance today if possible. That's kind of interesting. I'm just looking at this. This is... It kind of looks like there's... I don't know. I need to look into that. It's kind of like there's patterns of... It looks like it's doing this, right? I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Silver's Aper. What's up, my guy? Look at 88. It's one of the four horsemen, but we can take a look at it. I don't really like the coin in particular, but I do really like the funniness of Charles Hoskin. What was it? You just find the most Charles Hoskin. How do you say his last name? Hoskinson, 88. Yeah, let me see. Snow. I saw a picture the other day of him that was just amazing. There it is. So, like, I don't know why this dude does funny stuff. And I don't know if he's trying to be funny, but, like, the founder of ADA randomly posting a photo of him sitting outside doing poses in the snow, wearing his Matrix sunglasses. It's a good time. But since we're talking about it, let's go take a look. Finance. Yo! Let's look at 3 hour on this one. Yeah. So if we zoom way out, yeah. So she's been bleeding off. The colors are going to look crazy because I don't have them set up for dailies right now. But that would be the support block we would want to look to. The first real big support block is going to be there. So like 18 cents. So far, she's only broken above the channel walker a few times, and she hasn't been able to hold it. So the trend itself has not flipped. As you can see here, we're staying above the channel walker. Here, we're staying below it, and we haven't done that yet. So if you're wanting to long this, we're going to be looking for short periods of time, scalping. We're not going to be looking for long holds because look at all these other long positions. If you'd held it, you'd be way down. It's not saying this is an awful coin or anything like that. That's how we look at the colors, right? So she is down 93%. Wow. Oh. Just be careful when people say, hey, it's been down 93%. You can still take a position here. And it's not like you're going to lose 8%, right? Some people make that assumption and they get destroyed and they have to learn the hard way. You take another position here, there's always 100% below you. I don't know why it's doing that. I think it's the log. So you could take a position here and you could still lose 100% of your money. Turn log off. So it is acting goofy, yeah. So look, this is still, you can still knock it out, right? So be careful. But with that being said, if you're looking at like traditional alt season, when we had like stuff that was going down 90%, you start looking for support. But pivot wise, we really don't have anything until 19 cents on the daily. Let's take a look at the 12 hour. Still nothing. Let's try the 6. Yeah, so there's one here you can pick up on the 6 hour tools. Yeah, so that's where this hit and bounced, but they broke through it. And now they're kind of looking down and going down for a lower print. So you kind of zoom out on your support and then zoom back in, and you can kind of see where the old support lines are. So since you can't draw these lines forever with the tools, we'll just drop a horizontal line here. And this is a red one. Control V. Draw one right there. Draw one right there. And one right here. It's not, you don't have to be perfect, but you get the idea. And you can see this is where Cardano came down and hit. Bam, 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 bam. It did support. But it broke through and now it's coming back down. So let's zoom in and where we're at right now. So we have support above us and we have support below us. And since we flipped through this one, let's go ahead and switch that one red. Now that's resistance, right? Let me delete that. Let me tighten this up if I can. Where's the drawing tool? There it is. What's going on? Let me delete it, redraw it. It's really that, it's on the higher time frames, it's actually that big. 35 cents to 45 cents is the wall. Now you can see where it liquidated or wicked into it a bunch of times. It popped, but right now, for the most part, though, we zoom way in. You're bouncing between these two, or actually you're kind of fading down into it. So I would guess you're eventually going to hit this, the 18 cents, and pop up. I think that's eventually going to play, but right now on your like short time frame that you're looking at it, she's going for this pivot here at 29.53, so basically 30 cents, and she's likely going to bounce off of that. Maybe it'll go through and wick through it right? Maybe we get that. And that's the bullish case, right? Because then they're trying to buckle up and then they can rock and roll. Um, but it's got a lot of overhead resistance, right? So um, this is not try to be the early bull season. This is try to like be a late bull. Um, Early bulls in a bear market gonna get crushed, so you have to be really careful. Now you can catch bounces and stuff like that, right? But you can see how this one bounced here, came up. Well, this one too bounced here, came up, got rejected, and then she came back down. So you have to just play it one level at a time. Now, if Cardano starts eating these levels and keeps moving back up, this like channel walker on the higher time frames. See how this channel walker is just red? Eventually, this thing's gonna flip green. And if that thing can flip green on the higher time frames, you're looking at like a macro bottom potentially, and that's what you really, really want to see. Until she flips, um, you've got to be really careful. I'm missing a tool. Hold on. I think it's the reversion bands. Yeah. Let me throw machine learning reversion bands. Yeah. So, sorry, I didn't have the reversion bands on. I wanted to put that on, but I'm going to turn them off for right now just so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm only going to show you the channel walker. And we will delete all the other stuff. Right? All right. So that's what this tool's for. Macro runs versus micro runs. You zoom out on your macro with this channel walker tool, and it's going to give you a visual indication like, are we on a bull run? And you can see this was a hell of a run for Cardano. Shout outs to the Haas because this thing went hard. I think it went to like 450 or something. No, 296. I thought it was $4 at one point. But either way, that was an 8,500% run, and now she's bleeding. But we want to see something like this, where it flips it, right? Did I just delete that? Nope, I just hit it. All right. So eventually she's gonna do that. So that's the 2-day, right? You can see it on the 1-day. On the 1-day, it's had some contestants, but for the most part, the runnerbot's telling you trend is down. So if you're gonna long when this thing's red, if you're gonna long, you're scalping. You're not swinging for very long. If you're gonna short, you could potentially short for long distances too. Then we can go look at 12-hour. And this thing's easier to flip the lower the time frame you go, right? So you can see we have some green here. And she's flipping green right now on the 12-hour, right? She is above it on the 12-hour. But for the most part, every time... Does the watermark bother you guys? It's bothering me. Just want to fade that a little bit. A little bit more. There you go. Can you guys still see the coin? Maybe? Hope so. I can barely see it on my screen, but it looks like on the Twitch it looks all right. But anyway, every time she's like popped above it so far, since like this is like May, it hasn't held. Right? So that's why I want to see like the 3-day. But with that being said, this is a nice little move. So 21%. It's not shabby, but your odds are this isn't going to continue and it's going to keep going down looking for support. That's just where we're at. So kind of want to look at that on Ethereum real quick, because we can look at the same stuff. So Ethereum on the daily with the channel walker tool. Yeah. So you can see she really gave up the ghost here back in like January of 22. And she's just been bleeding. Look at the 3-day. Yeah. Beautiful run, but now she's bear marketing, right? And it just is what it is. These things come in cycles. 2,800% run, so not nearly as good as the Hosk, but she's got overhead above her. And this channel walker will act as resistance for sure. So the resistance right now is like 1,300. But eventually you will get the flip. Hopefully, not everything does, but this is what you want to see, where it eventually flips and then it takes it, and then the channel walker will start acting as like support, right? So that's what we want to see. We want to see that rotation. Let me turn everything back on. Yeah, so that 1300 is right around here at this pivot on what that channel walker was on the higher time frames. So it'll be interesting because we're for the most part on Ethereum, we are like, if you look at the micro range, this is where we're at, right? But if you zoom out, that's your real resistance block. Like up here is this. Let me turn off the reversion bands because we're not in the reversion bands right now. There's a block here, and there's a block here. Roughly. If I went to lower time frames, we'd pick up the other pivots, but then we have the support blocks down here. Green. And then there's one right here. So that's where we're at with Ethereum. Open up the volume a little bit. So that's what we're looking at, and this thing has a trend on it for the most part. Ish. Can't draw it perfectly, but you get the idea. It's higher, or it's lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So something's eventually going to break. Whether this thing breaks down, I hope the $1,000 holds. That would be a really nice, pretty number for Ethereum to break through. We'll see though. Give me 1 second. Let me check something. So another thing to keep an eye on is Sam Bankman-Fried with FTX is still tweeting, or started to tweet. And I don't know who GR Detector is, but I've really enjoyed her tweets as of late. And apparently she's a former $100 million money manager on Bloomberg, CEO of Grit Capital, #1 finance leader on. That's good for her. But anyway, I've really enjoyed some of her tweets, so I follow her now and pay attention. And apparently, like, SPF's back on Twitter, and he's using emojis and stuff. So someone just tried to sell me that VC is uncorrelated to the public markets. I don't think this person knows what correlation measures. SPF had to pipe up. Correlation of official markets of private companies can be zero for surprisingly long enough time. Just hung out smiley face. So be careful. This dude's online and active. And one of the things I wanted to really point out is he seems to be having the attitude that this is not over and that he could somehow pull himself out, is at least how I've taken it. And during his lawsuit with the dealing with the bankruptcy stuff, he's trying to still have access to client funds. He's also trying to get access to his $450 million worth of Robinhood stakes, which he used client funds for. So be careful. Originally, during the court case he had, was it a week ago? The judge said he's not going to have access to clients' funds inside the. It's currently right now, like he's not going to be able to access anything, and that actually really, really upset SBF. And SBF started like vigorously like writing notes to his legal representative. So be careful. It's not a good look. As long as he has online, like, why the dude has any access to the internet is beyond me. I don't know why the cops would do, or the judge would do that, but it's not good. There's one other one. Let me find it real quick. Let me see. That one's done. FTX bankruptcy. Yeah, this one is related to FTX. Here we go. Hold on 1 second. I gotta shut the door. All right, I'm back. So FTX bankruptcy estate is currently paying people $1,300 an hour, and you can actually see the on-chain transactions. So they actually spent $3 worth of gas to move 2 cents worth of sushi tokens. So that's bullish on the liquidations of how well FTX is handling that situation. And then there was one more, I think. Justin Donald's Twitter. Yeah, I wanted to go over this one so we can take a look at Tron first. Yep. All right. So let's take a look at Tron. Somebody tested Tron pretty damn well. Blood in the water, and they hit him hard. And it looks like it bounced for the most part, but we'll see if it holds. This is not a good look for Justin Sun, but that's a pretty good candle. Not gonna lie. This was going sideways in a really, really tight range. And it looks like he's getting tested due to the news that's been coming out. I'll cover the news in just a second. So this basically blew out 10% in a day. And now it's trying to recover. But the news of it is this is a response that Justin Sun himself is saying. They've established themselves as a reliable and secure platform for trading assets with a track record of 100% uptime and history of 10 years in the issue without security breach. This is the type of stuff all the other exchanges start saying before they go down. May or may not be true, but it's something to be considered. This is the type of stuff they say right before they announce insolvency. So, unfortunately. He also has actual bearish news in relation to this. He's got laying off 20% of his staff. Not a good look. And there's one other thing. Let me find it. I apologize. I don't have it set up right. Sorry, the kids just got home. Let me find it real quick. I thought I had one more. McDonald's. I don't. So anyway, Justin Sun could be hurting. I really want to keep a look at this. And basically, when you see stuff like this, the way you need to interpret this is hey, there's bearish news related to Huboy, which is related to Justin Sun. Justin Sun's baby chain is Tron. And they tested him, right? There was a big sell-off here. And they're trying to see if he's exposed. Whether or not there is a real exposure, usually where there's smoke, there's fire. So even then, like the big boy wills will come and test this and try to nuke it just to see what'll happen. Because if they can liquidate somebody, that's something they can consume. So keep that in mind. While Justin Sun's hurting, our other boy, Barry Silbert, is not doing so good. We talked about this last stream and that he may or may not be going under. And apparently, the SEC and the Eastern District of New York are investigating into money flow between DCC and Genesis relating to the GBTC stuff. So long story short, DCG is the parent company of what's it called? I just forgot. What is it called? Grayscale. Thank you. Is the parent company of Grayscale. So when you see DCG, think Grayscale, think Barry Silbert. So when SEC is actually investigating this, but lo and behold, SEC was actually investigating FTX apparently before they went under. So we have to be really careful. Another alert on this. U.S. government launches investigation into Cryptite, DCG. Company of CoinDesk, Grayscale, and Genesis. There it is. And then I thought this was absolutely freaking hilarious. If you don't know, Gemini loaned, what was it, like $1.5 billion to Silbert with a promissory note. And they've been both mouthing off at Silbert, and Silbert's been mouthing off at them. And then someone took the Office meme and took the twins here instead of Dwight and Michael. So it was awesome. What's up, Playmaker? High Life 9-7. Yeah. Big drops. Oh, buddy. I'm sorry you have GBTC. Are you still under the timer for it? Like, you can't market sell this stuff, can you, when you want? Don't you have to hold it for so many days? think that's the case. I'm just not sure. But regardless, GBDC is falling bad. But this roughly looks like the Bitcoin chart. But there's a lot of scare here right now because this stuff could potentially get trapped. Let me see. Yeah. The other one that's getting interesting is it's getting bad when McDonald's is cutting jobs and reorganizing. And they are even though taking shots at crypto, which I thought was pretty funny. So, how are you guys people doing who run crypto Twitter accounts? So, I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry about the exposure to GBTC. That's a tough one. Do you stick and ride it out, or you try to hold? I don't know. It's tough. Oh, hey, Binance replied to this. That's pretty fun. Oh, I'm sorry. This is an old tweet. My bad. This is January 24, 2022. Still good. Still good. It's more comedic relief for our boy who's got some GBTC. No cap and crunch. Bussin'. For real, for real. The hand tattoo's nice. Let me see. Yeah, we can get back to that one. So GBTC, what was the other one? LTCN? Is that the Grayscale Litecoin Trust? Which is bullish. It's bouncing. Yeah, but overall, Litecoin is doing really well right now. Pantalga, what's up, my friend? Damn, that was a nice runner bot play. If you just turn everything off. Dude, 19% on Litecoin with a runner bot play. That's not normal. This is she's moving a lot. She's showing a lot of strength. I don't know why either, because most everything is going down and sideways. This thing's been going sideways and up, and now it's testing. Let's zoom out. Let's see, because if this thing really breaks out, let me turn off this so it's not so crazy. Because I really only use the machine learning bands when we're really pumping or dumping. That way you can get an idea where the reversion's going to be. When we're in the middle, I don't really care so much. But take a look at this. Yeah, so she's just about gone. There's really one there, and there's really another here. That's how you should look at that technically. I wanted to be lazy, but I got time, so I'll do it right. So there's your support, there's your resistance, and then this is your previous, this is where your previous range is, right? So that's really going to be your next overhead one, is the bottom of this range. So what becomes support becomes resistance, what becomes resistance becomes support. It all flips around, right? So that is at $90. $90 is the wall. So we formed some BARTs. We formed a really nice BART here. We've been covering these a lot, and I'm actually working on a short little 60-second video on these. Which video editing is awful, but I'm learning it. But you can see we punched through this and we came back and retested. Now she's kind of going up here. So let's see if she can go for this move, 75 to 90, which is going to be another 18% run. Huh. That'll be interesting. If she just keeps walking up, it's something to stay attention to, because this back in 2018, this was one of the first things to walk out. It wasn't Ethereum, it wasn't Bitcoin. Litecoin took off first when we bottomed out in 18. Why that would repeat, I don't know, but it's something to consider. But this kind of looks like a thing. And let's take a look at Channel Walker real quick. Let's check it versus what we were looking at earlier. So let me turn Channel Walker. So let's look at this on 3-day and see what it's doing. So in 2019, the Channel Walker was flipped, and we went on the run. Then she came back down, flipped a little bit. That's the COVID wick. and then she really flipped it and held it in October 20th, and that was the run. So, man, maybe. It's obviously too early to tell, but this looks oddly familiar, does it not? With these colors? I'm not the only one seeing this, right? Does that look right to you guys? I can't believe I'm looking at Litecoin on 3-day candles, but I am. Because you can see this was the downtrend. It was tested. We had the COVID plunge tested, and then she ran. Now it actually looks like she tested it, and now she's trying to run. If this is the flip, man, we're talking like, are we bottomed? Yeah, that's the thing. But she's got to get above it and hold it, and that's a whole lot of volume to do this. And remember, she went up to 420, so that's crazy. Donald is what? Is Donald long or short? He typically swings, doesn't he? He's long. Hmm. Maybe. That's really the range block right there that I'd be looking at. We've wicked it. We haven't tested it again, but if that's the flip, that's the flip. Give me 1 second. I gotta take a 2 minute break. Hold on. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. We had a structural issue, support issue with a homemade tent fort. Um, but it looks like the damage has been done. So anyway, man, I this is what upsets me about Twitter. Like I follow Donald and I really, really like his stuff. My Twitter timeline does not show anything Donald ever, other than when he's getting like proposals and married and stuff like that. But let's look at this with some colors. Let's take a little deeper dive into Litecoin if you guys would like to. I know I would. So this is what I was keened in on. That bad boy right there. Because this looks like this to me. And the colors even look the same. Wish I could show this on the... Let me try it on 2-day. kind of hard to show it without a widescreen, but that might be it. That might be it. And this is just a slightly higher low. I say slightly, 49 versus. It's still a lot percentage wise. So, yeah, he is very patient. Didn't get quite the pullback it's in worse now versus COVID dump. I don't think so. COVID dump was bad. I knew that was capitulation. This wasn't. This was kind of FTX's, but it wasn't Deathwick. That's a Deathwick. So was that. This wasn't, but so I don't know. Anyway, that's thanks for bringing up the Litecoin stuff because I did not look at this as much as I probably should. So I typically don't. I'm not so crazy about Litecoin, to be honest. That's an awesome exchange attack. You have to ignore that candle because it probably doesn't exist on everything else. But let's look at the 3-day on this. This is the LTC BTC ratio charts. We're going to look for a downtrend. That's definitely changed. That's really cool to see the channel walker acting as support right there. Maybe, guys. Maybe. Eye stutters. What's up, dude? We can look at Adam. Let me get back. I don't want to look at this stuff on 3-day, obviously, but let me turn seconds off. Yeah, so Adam was an actual channel walker. If you don't know what a channel walker is, when we trade Rainbow Theory, we watch these. And this is when a whale is in complete control of the bids. And he wants price to go up before he distributes. But typically, once these channels break, it pulls back like normally like 60% or so. So let's see if we got the 60%. It's not an exact science. No one else really talks about channel walks. It's just kind of a Rainbow Theory thing. But yeah, 50. We got a 50% pullback. So maybe. You got to be really careful on these channel walks, though, right? Let me show you why, because this is a little history lesson. The most crazy channel walk of all time was this one. This is the cake 4-hour chart back in 2021. I've never seen a channel walk as beautiful as this one. I traded it for 60 days or so. And it was some of the easiest money. And it was boring, but it worked. And the cool thing about these channel walk is you can see the colors rotate. This little whale would sit here and go, roll it to purple, roll it to purple, roll it to purple, roll it to purple. And he just kept da-da-da-da-da-da. And then eventually he stopped supporting it. You can see every time it came down to green, he bounced it, bounced it, bounced it, bounced it, bounced it, bounced it, bounced it. And he ended up moving the price 100%. He doubled the price. They took it from 50 to, or no, not that. They took it from 10 to 26, which is huge. I think I made like 80 or 100% on spot. It was pretty crazy. Not to brag, this is the best example I've got. But the problem is these channel walks bleed. Typically like 60% is what I typically tell people. Yeah, so this one went 35. And then this thing it doesn't look right. So it went up 100, came back. Do I need to do short position? That doesn't seem right to me. This was 100. That was 100 and that's 50. But that's using the short. Let me try the long. Hold on, something's throwing me off here. I don't know. Either way, they bleed out a lot. And so that's at least half the height, right? So with Adam, we don't have one that's 2 months long. I think that was 60 days of a channel walk. I don't know of another example that went longer personally, but there's your channel walk. This one went from June to September. So this was a 3-month channel walk. And now she's coming back down about halfway. So that's about 50-60% height wise. And you have support here. So on a lower time frame, this is what I want to see. Is I want to see the 1050 break and hold, because you can see here, Adam has a really hard time with 1050. It doesn't want to go over it. But you close some like 4-hour candles up here, pay attention. So I'm even going to set an alert here. So add alert. So now I'll get an alert when if this does happen. So anyway, that's what you want to see. You want to see it retest this a few times or something, at least once, and then go. And then the target would be here, 11,857. Albeit it's going to be over here, but that's TP1. And then if this would be your granddaddy, like you're not going to, if you get through that, we're in bull mode, but that's going to be really, really hard to break. Yes, Fletch. 1439 is saved for testing purposes. It's troubleshooting some bot stuff. But anyway, we'll see if this goes. It'll be interesting. See what else is moving. Adam's one a lot of very reputable people talk about all the time. So this has moved 20% today. Suku. ANKR. I think ANKR is the... I think that's the coin Allcoin Psycho really likes. But regardless, does the pivot stand out? Hit that to the penny for the most part. So maybe good time for that to pull back. Let me look at Fetch AI, because this is something Vital was looking at. This is a really weird coin. It tends to pump and dump. It has a really cool pattern way back in the thing. There it is. This is the pattern that made me start paying attention to Fetch AI, because it was like a horizontal channel walk. It was nuts. It was the color rotation was the same damn near every time for multiple months, and it was just like buy anywhere down here, sell up and profit, and it would go. It moves really weird, and I don't know much about it, but maybe it is. I think it's Fetch artificial intelligence or something. I don't know what all the token actually does, but long story short, she's very, very volatile, and she wiggles in these horizontal ranges, and now she's pumping really, really hard. But since this thing is pumping so hard, let's turn on the reversion bands and see where she's at. Yeah, so she's pumping really hard, but likely not sustainable. It could definitely go for like higher highs, but she's probably gonna have to cool off. And see how there's so much pink here? Let's move this adjuster here. So let's take the adjuster. We'll take the parabolic and increase it a little bit. See if we can get those colors down. Just use my mouse wheel to crank it up. Yeah, let's go to 5. Yeah, so that's... I'd imagine it does this. Something similar, right? You see how this one came down until it touched the channel walker, and then it bounced. So maybe we need to come down and touch this channel walker. Maybe like at 120-ish, maybe. Maybe if you can do the ghost pattern, or the bar pattern. And then this would come up and kiss. So maybe like 130-ish, maybe. It just depends. It's higher, so the real big magnet's down here, but that's a pretty big fall. I don't know if it's going to fall that far. So we can take a look at Matic too. Thank you guys for hanging out on an unscheduled Sunday. Can't stay for super long, but I did want to stop and say hi and hang out with you guys for a good bit. And if you notice, I adjust the sensitivity, and now the colors don't look right. So I'm going to go back to the main indicator and reset the settings. Oh man, I had well prints off. That dang it, that's what was throwing me off. Anyway, let me remove my drawings. So we've got an ungodly amount of pivots. Are we on? We are on Binance. Okay, so let me zoom out a little more. Try 6 hour, calm it down. Okay, this is it. This is on 6 hour. We have a, you have a, it's a little wide, but you have support there. I'm gonna turn the reversion bands off. Um, and you have this here, and you've got a swing. You've got a third block up there. Actually, there's, if you want to go all through the levels. Oops. There's like one here. It's not rocket science. Just find where the pivots cluster. Where the pivots cluster, that's where your, what they call like order blocks. Like how Trader Main talks about order blocks. This thing automates it if you draw the blocks yourself off of the pivot lines. At least that's the idea. And you've seen how we've hit a few of these where it's like to the penny. It taps and it's just, it's absolutely mental. The whales are like that. It's crazy, but it's cool because it gives us an edge, right? So regardless, you can see that we have had support on these bottoms. Let me turn off the runner bot so we can see it a little better. Support, 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 dip down into support, retest, another dip into support. This is the FTX capitulation, came down damn near to the penny. Another retest, another retest, another retest, another retest. But you notice we don't have anything going down into this, right? It's not going down. If we really zoom into this, right? I don't want to delete these. Give me a second. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see something here. Yeah, this is bothering me. Let me switch this music up. There we go. All right. So you can see how this support here was supported here, that it nuked down. We had a retest, but we've got some well prints pulling it back up. So there's a good chance this is the retest of this range here, like the 75-ish, 76-ish% or $0.75, 75 cents, and we're already up to 80, right? So the retest is that triple pivot, and we're already up 5%. And since we want to look at low time frame longs, this would be TP1. This would be TP2. And then that's your, if you can get a wick into there, that would be your 3. And I don't know why it corrects my drawings like that. But that's what we want to see, and we want to see it stay above that channel walker and start working its way back up. Essentially, we want to see this kind of repeated up as it came down and tested, then walked up. We've come down, tested. Now we want to see if it walks up. But since we already know we have a really nice floor here that allows you to get your stop losses really tight, right? We're already up 5%, so that's obviously not the best, but you could start working your way into this with a little bit of concentration. You know, trying to get some stops like there. You may get stop hunted. It may take a few times. The obvious entry was down here, but that's a hindsight call, and it's tough to trade when it's going down like that and it doesn't look like it's going to stop. But we did have a stop there. The volume is not woken up too much, though, so it is what it is. Yeah. 2-minute candles. We could try. Yeah, sorry for the 2 p.m. Central. Schedule got bumped. Yeah, eventually, but if they hold, it can be a macro floor too, right? There's a lot of time between these retests. We've been up here since July. So you're right. Retests aren't good, but you've noticed like they're not punching into it anymore. They barely kiss the top. That's kind of why I'm more bullish on it. It's not doing this, printing candles in the screen block. It barely did anything. But also the volume's low, so like, is what it is. So let me see if I can find the DMs. We had a not a new user, but someone who left and then came back to Rainbow Trends, and he was trading 30-second candles on the S&P, and he kept running into issues with 1.7 because he couldn't get the finite adjustments that he needed. So that's why I kicked open 1.8 because it slows you down a little bit when you're mulling through it. Um, Let me see. If I think this is what he was doing, so we can try to do it. ES1. I don't personally do this, so bear with me. He's on 30-second candles, by the way, which is just crazy. And I think he's got. Turn channel walker off. Main indicator. I think he was negative 4.895. Yeah. And then he had that set to 1. I think he cranked down the pivots, but yeah, he's got a pivot setting I don't have recorded in the chats. Let me try to do it manually. I think that's the wrong way. Yeah. Once he gets this fully cracked, he said he'll share it in the Discord. It's a little more. Yeah, that's about what his charts looked like. So he was trading S&P. I think it's ES1. ES1. Yeah. So this is it. So he's trading 30-second candles on S&P 500 futures. And these are the color rotations he's trading. He had a Runnerbot running too. Let me see if that even works without tuning. No, he's got a tune on Runnerbot too. I'm guessing here because he's, yeah. Yeah, we'll go with 0.1. So this roughly looks like his charts. So this is 30-second candles, ES1, negative 4.895. He bumped that up to 1. And this is like roughly 100, 110 here. Those are the main things he changed. And then the runner bot is 0.1 on the top sensitivity. I don't know if he did the bottom one. So yeah, there's your snip there. But yeah, so he's been playing this on 30-second charts, and the color rotations have been really, really nice on the S&P 500, and the whale prints are really nice on the ES1 as well. But this isn't my cup of tea. I like 30-second charts out of my zone, but this guy's pioneering it, and so far he's making multiple wins trading this. So I can't tell him nothing. To quote the great, what's his name, rapper. But anyway, he trades these color ranges, and he's been trading these reversion tests into these RSI reversion tests and these color rotations into support blocks, right, or into support blocks. So this is what his charts roughly look at. I'll have to get him to share his exact settings, and I got to figure out a way how to implement that into where other people can reference this, but this is what his charts look like, and it's really interesting because it makes the interday S&P 500 actually look really, really awesome. But these are the charts that roughly he was getting. Let me see what some other ones he's got some screenshots. Yeah, these were the other ones he was playing with, right? So this is Thursday and Friday of last week. This is what he was trading. So there was a support block here and a resistance block here, roughly. Right? And he he was playing these bounces and then flipping short on these retest, and then there's like I can't believe this stuff exists on 30 seconds, but there's like a broadening wedge here into support, and then it pops out and then works its way up, right? Like it's pretty crazy, and the volume gets pretty wild, but that's obviously going into the weekend. But yeah, this is what this guy's been doing, and like he was an older client that came back a few weeks ago, and I'll let him come into the Discord and share because I've been pushing him. I was like, dude, you got to share this because this is like 30-second S&P candles, which is nuts. But so far, his win rate's been insane, and he's making money, so it's kind of cool. That's actually really cool to see. And then obviously you have a retest here. So yeah, this is his settings on roughly his settings. He's still working on it, but yeah, you can do a lot of damage with this, honestly. Like look at the RSI color rotation, then pop. It's really cool. But these look like crypto charts. These look like 2-hour candle crypto charts, but it's S&P 500 on 30 seconds. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, just watch what happens when I put this back on 4-hour. You can't make sense of it. I'll post it in the Discord. I just posted it in the Discord, Fletch, so you can have it. But I'm gonna go reset, put it back to normal, and then we can go look at vet. VeChain. And then I gotta get going in about 5 minutes, so we'll wrap it up. Yeah, VT looks like it printed a capitulation bottom here. Retested, and now it's trying to walk up. So this is going to be your immediate target. And if it could get through that, that's like TP2. Above that, we're reversing, right? If you can get back into this range, you're likely going to keep trucking. This is a lot of overhead weight. You can see all this stuff here on the visible range. It's going to have to work its way through that, which is really, really hard. So got to be careful. Anyway. Take a look at Neo. I associate those two. I don't know why. Daily with a channel walker. Not yet. We are getting some whale prints here, but not flipping that thing yet. Take a look back at Bitcoin. Yeah, same with Bitcoin, but no whale prints. It's cool though, that volume. It's a lot of volume, guys. Whole lot of volume. Check it on. Let's check the volume on Coinbase. Yeah. Whoops. Where'd it go? What happened? I can't. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, whatever. Let me re-add it. See if it breaks. Yeah, there we go. All right, it's back. Volume's showing back up, honestly. This is the old bottom in 2019. Volume really rocked and rolled, but there's a lot of selling here too, though. Big sell wicks. Let's try the perps. Yeah, not there yet. Oh well. Anywho, I gotta get going, guys. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're new here, it looks like there are some new faces. Definitely go check us out at rainbow-trends.com. You can find our Discord. You can get our free tools and everything here. We have the free subscriptions. And you can read up more about rainbow theory and why the charts look like they do. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully, I have a stream probably Tuesday, maybe midweek. We'll see. But anyway, we'll be in the Discord if you want to come talk. Until then, see you later.